Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Saturday night, live from Los Angeles, California. Thanksgiving weekend. Hope everyone had a great holiday with their families. Hope you're continuing to have a great holiday weekend. I can barely breathe. I've eaten so much the last couple of days. I'm extra doughy right now. Not that I'm not doughy on average, but more doughy than usual right now. So loving life, family, very fortunate, and hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving as well. And it's been a minute since we pulled up. It's been a minute since we talked some Dodger baseball, and we back up in here tonight to talk for a little bit, man. Got some time, got out of work a little earlier. Now we here to talk a little Dodger baseball, and I'm similar to my last show. I'm kind of testing somewhat some new equipment and doing some kind of testing for another platform. It's kind of some beta testing. They're not out yet. So working through a couple of things as that happens. So just putting that out there to begin with. So far, so good. And again, appreciate all y'all for tuning in. And tonight's topic, we're going to go into details on some stuff today. Got a little drop happening today. Got a little release today. A little fun little announcement today. As you see, we got the Drip Show logo at the top of your screen right here. This show, as all shows, is brought to you by Drip Show. The best top tier art in the game by the graphic god himself, Chris, man. You know what it is. You know what it is. And we back at it again. We back to back like the Los Angeles Dodgers, man. So this show, like I said, brought to you by Drip Show. And we're going to have some, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to kind of announce a little bit what we got working on right now. But first things first, the topic of the show, man, are the New York Yankees becoming afraid and scared of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I only really say this because it's very rare, very rare for an owner of the New York Yankees to come out and speak on another team's borderline dominance. And it's very odd for them to come out and speak on what the Dodgers are doing, how it's affecting them, how it's impacting baseball, and most importantly, that they're doing it right. And I think it's very important because you got someone who's used to being the front of the line when it comes to spending. The evil empire. That dun, 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 dun. No more. That's us out here in LA now. We are the new evil empire. Get used to it, right? We ain't going nowhere. Man. And it's back to back. We're going for this three-peat, and we're not going to stop until it happens. All right. I think they're going to get it, just like we thought they were going to get the back-to-back. They got it. It was crazy. Everyone knows. I think everyone's heart is still recovering from that series. Shout out to the Blue Jays once again, and all them cute, adorable, fuzzy little Canadians that are going ballistic in my DMs, threatening me, causing all kinds of chaos. I love y'all too, man. But the Dodgers have the Yankees shaking in their Tims, y'all. They got them shaking in their Timberlands. The Dodgers ain't had the Yankees this scared since Yamamoto, all right? I understood they beat them in the World Series, but the first video I did about the Dodgers have the Yankees scared was when I was telling y'all that they're about to get Yamamoto. That happened. And now the Yankees are sitting here like, what do we do? We're the big bad bullies on the block, and now we're getting bullied. We're the bullies. Like the New York Yankees was that bully in the jail yard. And then the Los Angeles Dodgers came in on a bid, and they just marched right to the yard and just popped the Yankees right in their mouth. And now it's their turf. It's their world. And the Yankees have to sit on the sideline and watch the Los Angeles Dodgers dynasty in living color. They saw it in their own stadium. They saw it in Toronto. The Dodgers beat the Yankees in 2024. Then they beat the team that beat the Yankees in 2025. And, you know, it is what it is. The Dodgers are here now. It is their world. It is blue heaven on earth. And the Yankees are going to be sitting back and looking at this for a while because the Dodgers have officially taken over baseball. They have taken it from the Yankees flat out. Like even the Yankees owner, Hal Steinbrenner, is talking about the Dodgers now. And it's not in a casual way. More like he's looking over the fence. He's looking over there like, man, realizing that the neighbors upgraded their crib. The neighbors upgraded their crib, and ours is like kind of still the same. It's kind of still the same. And it's they have to sit there. They have to look at this house. This house is outrising them now. They have to see it. And he didn't just talk about the Dodgers. He openly mentioned the Dodgers spending habits. He pointed out LA pays and wins big. Pays and wins big. And that's what's very important. He didn't just say they're out there spending money. No, he said that they pay and win big. And that's really, really weird for him to just come out and say that in a year where he's trying to duck the conversation about profits with the Yankees and all this. And it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. So why are the Yankees owners talking about another team's approach? Why is he doing that? And the reason he's doing that is for a variety of reasons. And that is he was pretty fair in his assessment when he sat out here and said that the Dodgers aren't just out here spending, because he specifically mentioned we spent, meaning the Yankees, and the Mets spent, and look where it got us. So this was an actual compliment towards the Dodgers. This wasn't a backhanded. This wasn't we need a salary cap. This wasn't that. This was they're doing it, and doing it well, right, is what he said. And basically said that what they're doing, you can't just do with deep pockets. You have to have the deep pockets. You have the deep organization. You have to have deep intelligence. You have to be able to run an organization and run a franchise and do it well. And that is what Hal Steinbrenner was speaking on. And for him to talk about the Dodgers like that, it was pretty telling. It was pretty telling. And it's not normal. It's not normal. And it's a version of insecurity kind of sneaking in with a combination of reality sneaking in. And it's just really, really weird for him to come out and say that, because for decades, the New York Yankees were the evil empire. They were the big checkbook, the big moves, the big expectations. Now they're like the big second, right? The big letdown. The Los Angeles Dodgers are that team right now. They are the one. The Yankees were the ones that set the standard. The Dodgers have not only taken that standard, they have exceeded it. And it's the Yankees just don't have that swagger there anymore. It belongs in Dodger blue. The Yankees are kind of like, their moves are like cautious, profit focused, very controlled. And it reminds me a lot of what teams do when they're trying to not pay tax, or they're trying to not overspend, and they're trying to just do just enough to put it just enough out there so that fan base doesn't get all worked up or freaked out about them not spending. And it's not that they're not spending. I'm just saying they're just not doing it as well as the Dodgers are doing it, because it's been a while, since they really had that standards. The Dodgers have been chipping away at it. And the Dodgers, they spend aggressively, but they spend smartly. They develop their own stars in a way, right? They'll go up there and they'll wait. What I mean by they develop their own stars is they wait to spend. They didn't go heavy after the Bryce Harpers. They didn't go really heavy after the Juan Sotos. They spend on their guys. They attract global talent. They sit back and waited on that money for Shohei Ohtani. Sit back and waited for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Sat back and waited for Hiroki Sasaki and what he's going to become. Sat back and waited for a lot of these teams to do what they did and for them to get it, man. They built a 25-man roster, not just the top 5. They built depth. It is got some top heavy with megastars, but they still built it out. And it's they're still winning now while building. They're still building for forever while winning now. And that's what scares New York. That's what has the Yankees scared. And it should, because the Yankees, they failed to build around Judge. They missed the opportunity. The Yankees have done with Judge almost, this sounds crazy because they've made it to the World Series. They made the playoffs year after year, but they've almost done to Judge what the Angels did to Ohtani or to Trout, right? They haven't really been able to put a product on the field that could win, and they can't really go out. They haven't really developed a pipeline that could really do anything. Their pipeline is actually weaker than before. Big free agents slipping through their fingers, a la Juan Soto, and they're losing out to guys in the Dodgers like Yamamoto. And it's just they've got an aging roster with no true identity outside an all-world talent and a monster in Aaron Judge. And that's just kind of where they are right now. And it's tough because it is the Yankees seem to be prioritizing profits over dominance, and the Dodgers are doing the opposite. And that's why the torch has shifted to Los Angeles. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have not done so already, you would be greatly appreciated. You can become a member to the channel if you haven't done so already. Great way to help support the channel. We would thank you. Like I said, we're streaming on a couple different new platforms today, testing out something for a new company. I'm on YouTube in 2 different forms, vertical and horizontal. So appreciate y'all watching either video. And shout out to everyone over on Twitter. And again, we're here in the off season. The Dodgers really haven't made any moves to really talk about yet. It's all speculation right now. But the Los Angeles Dodgers are still out here on kind of the tip of everyone's tongues right now, because they're the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have what everyone wants, which is the trophy, and everyone's coming for it, but they're going to have to fight to get it. Blue Jays thought they had it. They fumbled it, and now here we are with the Dodgers potentially going for a three-peat. Now that the Dodgers have earned that championship, make sure you get your MLB, NBA, NFL gear and more. Make sure to tap that link. Use our link at Fanatics. It's here in the top of the chat here to get special discounts. And the purchase also helps support the channel. This championship hat, the championship hoodie I'm wearing right now, all from Fanatics. We partnered with the good people at Fanatics, so when you order through them via us, they take care of us for doing so. So go ahead and get that. You know, you got the holidays coming up. You got Christmas coming up. If you haven't got your merch or they just restocked, make sure to get that link. Make sure to order through us. We would appreciate it. But got another announcement coming up here in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to touch on. Once again, shout out to Drip Show, who's sponsoring the show. As you see the logo at the top of the screen here, the best in the business, graphic guide. Shout out to Chris, man. But look, what the Dodgers are doing is the Dodgers really just sit back and wait for teams to be stupid. They really sit back and wait for teams to mess up. They really just sit back and wait for teams to figure out what they're trying to do. And they sit and wait back for a team like Oakland to DFA at Max Muncy and bring him in. They sit back and wait for a team like Atlanta to fumble the bag with Freddie Freeman and overthink it and not extend him early. Let him get into free agency where you have no room for error. And it was an error and he came to LA. They sit back and wait for Boston to spend stupidly, then have to offload Mookie Betts in a salary dump just to get someone to take David Price for 1 year. This is what the Dodgers do. They sit back and watch Shohei Ohtani struggle in Anaheim for 6 years, put that money aside, wait, come knocking on his door as soon as they can to go get him. The Dodgers sit back and wait for teams to get stupid. Tampa Bay had Glasnow and Snell. Now they're here because Tampa Bay got stupid. San Diego got stupid. San Francisco only offered Blake Snell a 1+1 deal. Stupid. All right? Stupid. So you can't be mad at someone who's smarter than you when you're stupid. All right? All these teams did something stupid. They gave us Tommy Edman for a bag of baseball, St. Louis. Stupid. Stupid. All right? You can't blame someone who's smarter than you when you do stupid stuff. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and that stupid prize is second through last place because the Dodgers are winning the World Series again next year like they did the last two. So the Yankees are realizing that. It is setting in, the fear, the failure, all of that. They have fear and failure fatigue, and they're watching Dodger Blue. They are watching the Dodger Blue, that Pantone color, sit up here and win, and they're doing it. I don't want to call it the Yankee way, but they're winning in a way that the Yankees wish it was the Yankee way. And here's the thing. And this is, we've seen this with the Lakers. We've seen this with I think it's the Colts with Irsay's family over there. Like, you've seen it when it comes to the succession. You see what happens when it's the kids who take over. The kids, the original one, not the Hal Steinbrenner, but the George Steinbrenners, the Dr. Busses, like, they were the belly of the beast. They were the belly of the beast. These other ones just inherited something that they didn't build. Now, Jeannie was there, but she didn't risk it all. She didn't give up everything. She didn't what Dr. Buss did for the Lakers is what George Steinbrenner did for the Yankees. And there's no way you can duplicate that. I don't care if you have 50 children. If you have 50 children, shout out to Will. If you have 50 children, it doesn't matter. Because they're not you. They're not you. They didn't build it. They only inherit it. And while they want to honor your legacy and they want to honor your memory, they're just not wired like you because they didn't come up like you. They didn't come up like you. They came up different because of you. And now they treat that money as their inheritance and not their business. And they're not the belly of the beast. They're not. They treat it like they're protecting their and their family's inheritance, not willing to risk it all like George would for a championship. They won't do it. They won't do it. And that's where they find themselves right now. Trip Show, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you. Thank you as always for tuning in. Dodger Life, what's going on? I said, what's up, Empire Jeff? Checking in from the Grove. That's what's up. Shout out to you, man. I love the Grove. Love the Grove. Dope spot to be. I was there the other day. Califas for Life said, you think Diaz to the Dodgers is real? We're going to touch on that. I think that every day that goes by that he is not a New York Met leaves the door open for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Look, we saw this numerous times. If the Mets try to get a little cute out there, if Toronto tries to get a little cute and go after other guys and make Bichette wait, if Diaz has to wait, if these guys have to wait, if they have to wait, the Dodgers can come calling and the Dodgers might slide in those DMs. They might just slide in those DMs. They might just slide in those DMs like, hey, big head. You know what I mean? They might slide in the DMs. If those teams keep these guys waiting. Now, there could also be where their communication is open, communication is there, they're sorting things out, they're working out deals, they're dotting some I's, crossing some T's. The framework of a deal is there for Bo to go back to Toronto or Diaz to go back to New York. That could all be there already. Williams back to the Yankees. All these things could be in play, right? But until they sign with their teams, the Dodgers are absolutely in play for all of them, until they say otherwise, until Jeff Passan drops that tweet that breaking news, the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Toronto Blue Jays or the New York Mets have signed so-and-so, such and such. Until that comes out, until we hear those words, then we don't know what we don't know until we know what he says. And that's pretty much it right there. And I think there's a chance. I still think the Mets will be the favorite right now, but you're only the favorite till you're not. And we will see, what happens and what comes of it. Says Jay's beat writer says Jays are unwilling to give Tucker a $400 million deal. Now, I had heard either Tuesday or Wednesday that they didn't have a 400 yet. They didn't have a 400 offer. Now, that was Tuesday, right? Now, if you're talking to a team and a team offers 375 and another team offers 380, then maybe that number starts going up. I don't know what the offer is. I just had heard that there is not a 400 yet. So I don't believe that anyone has offered 400 yet. That's just my belief. That's just what I've heard. That could change at any time if a team gets desperate. Remember, at some point, like no one had offered Juan Soto 700, and then the Mets and Yankees went back and forth, and it jumped 100 mil, and that could happen. That could happen if teams get involved. If the Yankees, Blue Jays, Mets, Giants, Dodgers get in there just to muck up the number. Like if all those teams get involved, then and if the Cubs pretty much know they're losing him, they get involved to help drive up that price. Then maybe he sniffs close to 400 just off negotiation. But man, I just don't know who would want to pay that, man. Door might be opening for a short-term high AAV deal with opt-outs. You know what? That's the Dodgers playbook. And I'm going to tell you this just like I tell you every single time. If Tucker, Bellinger, any of those guys who are projected to get long-term big money deals, if any of those guys feel that this market is soft and that they feel that this market isn't for them, and if they feel like maybe they'll be better, once there's a new collective bargaining agreement in place and teams know what the landscape of the league financially is going to look like over the next handful of years, then maybe at that point, they will be like, okay, yeah, let's get back into the market now. Let's see what the market is bearing now that everyone in the league knows what this new collective bargaining agreement is going to look like over the next handful of years. Once they know that, then I think that teams may be a little bit more willing to spend long-term than they are right now when they don't know what the landscape or the calculus or anything is going to look post either a lockout or a renegotiation of the collective bargaining agreement. So I can see people waiting on that. Craig, what's going on, brother? How you doing, sir? Happy holidays. Thank you for tuning in as always. I think Diaz or Williams with LA Dodgers is pretty close to a lock. And if not, they're definitely get a Fairbanks, Emilio Hahn type. Yeah. So here's the thing. This is just my belief. I believe this is just my belief. I haven't I'm not out here doing recon or having a lot of conversations about Fairbanks. Excuse me. Yeah, it's come up and I have talked about him, but it's my belief that they're getting him regardless. That's just my belief. I believe that they will get someone, another big reliever and a Fairbanks. I don't think Fairbanks is the main one. I think he would be. So you remember last year when we got Tanner Scott and everyone's okay, that's great. Then all of a sudden, boom, we just got Kirby Yates too. I think that Fairbanks is going to be like the Kirby Yates. I'm not saying he's going to duplicate his performance, but I'm saying I think he's going to be the guy that kind of maybe the Dodgers already have something worked out with, and he just kind of sitting back and waiting, kind of like Kirby Yates did after they got Scott. And that's just my belief. We'll wait and see if that ends up being the case. But I believe that Fairbanks is a guy that the Dodgers will probably get anyways. And excuse me, man, got the hiccups when we were drinking. That they may get anyways, and the rest are, probably the bigger fish that they're looking at right now. Stephanie Can't Curry, what's going on, brother? SD just lost at another major league team in SDFC playoffs. Yeah, they're going through it, huh? They're going through it, huh? It is a San Diego, man. I was just out in San Diego last weekend, and first and foremost, shout out to all of them. They were great. They were wonderful. Had an absolute great time in San Diego with my family. Got to hang out with a lot of cool Dodger fans, a lot of cool San Diego fans, but yeah, San Diego going through it as a sports city for sure, man, for sure. Drip Show says, EmpireJeffTV, the best two-way channel on YouTube. I humbly agree, sir. I just need to pull up more often, man. I can't take that crown until I show up and consistent like the ones who put in the work every day. Don't care. What's going on? Don't care. Happy holidays, man. Yankees dominance died with George. Yeah, it does kind of feel that way, right? It does feel like they're not the same. It does feel like they are just not that team anymore, right? And that's what I spoke to, man. Like when you got the Dr. Busses and the George Steinbrenners, when you got all these guys, man, when you got these guys, these things kind of fall apart when they fall apart, and that's sad. What's going on, Fofo? We are investing our money well, and we beating, of course, them Stinkies are getting worried. They're definitely getting worried, but again, I want to tip the cap to Hal Steinbrenner because he's not out here crying like a lot of these other teams are. He's not out there doing any of that. Like a lot of these other teams are out there like throwing a fit and pointing fingers and crying and saying, and saying that. We need a salary cap. We need this. We need that. And there, he's not doing that. He's out here saying that the Dodgers are actually doing things right. And he's actually doing things that they're actually doing things, spending big, but winning big. And just because you have money doesn't mean anything. And he mentioned the Yankees and the Mets by name and saying they have all the money. They spent money and look where it got them. So again, you have an owner who's out here openly saying that the Dodgers are spending big, winning big, and fearing that they're getting separation from everyone else in the league just because they're smarter and better than everybody off the field and on the field. And he's worried about that separation that they're getting, and specifically speaking on how it's not just money. It's not just money because look, the Yankee owner, no way in hell can he be out here talking about or pushing for a salary cap. His fan base will lose their goddamn minds. They will, excuse me. You can't do that. It'd be like Steve Ballmer out there. It would be like the Warriors. It'd be like all these teams with all these billions of dollars at their disposal sitting there talking about a salary cap. You cannot have billionaires talking like that. Now, you have billionaires talking like that, but it's from small market teams. These are billionaires that don't spend, never have, never will. So they want that cap so they can, make it seem like they're crying fans, like they're taking up for them. Like, we're here for you. We're going to represent for you in these boardrooms. Meanwhile, they're like, hey, yo, just act like we wanted it. Just turn that off. Just act like we want it. But we want to keep making this money that this Dodger machine is printing. We just want our fans to believe we don't like it. We want to make them think we want to compete. Just keep that. That's off the record, right? That's off the record, right? That's what they're trying to do. They're cool with taking this money that the Dodgers are printing, losing, putting minimum money into their ball clubs, running it like a business, and going back to their yachts. Because like I said, they put their money in their boats and bimbos. They don't put it into their ball clubs. And they really are not as mad at the system as they want their fans to believe that they are. But they got to walk that line, right? They got to walk that line. They want their fans to think that because they want their fans to continue to show up and continue to buy merch and continue to stand by them and continue to buy beer and continue to pay for parking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as long as they fake the funk and act like they care about it, then their fans will be like, yeah, see, he's fighting for us. But he's not, man. He's not. They're not fighting for you. They're not fighting for you. What's going on, Roy? Appreciate you, brother. Happy holidays. We only needed our B game to beat the Blue Jays. If we played our A game, series was over at 5. Love the way we won 2 games at their stadium. Yeah, man. Yeah. You said B, I said C, man. I felt like the Dodgers were at their C level all playoffs, right, man, and still won. But check it. Look, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually you could, I'm getting excited again. I can't even get my words right. I am happy they didn't win in 4 or 5 at this point because they won it. We got a 7-game series. We got a classic series. We got a classic finish. We won game 6 and 7 on the road. The way we did it, I wouldn't trade that for the world, baby. I wouldn't trade that for the world. And they took the most sensitive fan base in Major League Baseball history and just squashed them like a bug, like a bug, because they kept coming back on. They kept coming around. You had to turn the lights on, and little Blue Jay fans like cockroaches were just scattering everywhere, right? But you got to step on them, hit them with the raid, dismiss them. And they did. They broke their little blue hearts. And again, shout out to them, man. They made us sweat at everything we had, man. They took it to the limit. But I'm not going to sit up here and act like if the Dodgers hadn't been slumping since July, like the Dodgers were always the better team. The Dodgers were always the better team. The better team won. The better team went further in the series than they should have. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. There's a reason why Vegas never had the Dodgers as an underdog in any game. There's a reason. They were favored in every game. Every game. And it's because they were the better team. Now, that doesn't take away. In baseball, the better team does not always win. I've told you guys this numerous times. But there's no way, shape, or form that the Toronto Blue Jays are better than the Los Angeles Dodgers. They didn't wake up one day this season being a better team. They had better games, but they did not wake up one day of the 2025 season from Tokyo to Toronto being a better team than the Los Angeles Dodgers. They just didn't. They just didn't. They didn't. What's going on? What's going on, Miguel? Appreciate you. Happy holidays. Jeff, what do you think about the rumor on a Tyler Glasnow trade? I personally don't believe, but it's true. Why would they trade it? So I did a short on that earlier. So if you didn't see that, go check that out. Look, I don't think it's real, but nothing's real until it is, right? So I don't think it's real. And my reasoning is this. Tyler Glasnow makes sense on the Dodgers more than any team in the league, right? He can go out there. He can miss 50 games. He can be 30 years old, north of 30 years old, north of $30 million. And the Dodgers don't care if he misses 50 to 60 games. As long as he's ready for October, they're cool with it. What other team kind of has that scenario? Like, hey, Tyler, come down here. We're going to give up important parts for you. Come down here, miss 50 to 60 games. Be ready for October. We're going to pay you $30 million. Come do what you did for the Dodgers for us. What team does that make sense for? I don't see one. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense until it does. And that doesn't make sense to me. So if I'm the Dodgers, he's a perfect piece. He's a guy that can get outs. He's a guy that you can bring out of the bullpen. You can start. He's a veteran. He's now a champion. He's pitched in multiple World Series games. He's a guy that doesn't make sense to trade. And for other teams, it really doesn't make sense for them to trade for him while giving up quality parts to the Dodgers. So to me, I'm not buying this rumor until it's a reality. I'm just not. It doesn't make sense to me right now because Tyler Glasnow is tailor-made for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He can miss 50, 60 games, make $30 million with his age, no problem, be fine, show up in October, win another ring. Makes too much sense for the Dodgers. Does not make a whole lot of sense for the rest of baseball. Don't Care says, Rams and Lakers bringing championships to LA. Next city of champs. Man, I wish. Look, I'm coming back soon to the NBA. I keep telling you guys this. I finally started watching some games in entirety. I was so wrapped up in baseball and just need a little break from there. And I'm enjoying a little break from the content creation and all this from live streams. And I'm working my way back in now. But I think the Rams got a much better chance of winning a championship than the Lakers do in their league. The Lakers got to make some moves, and I'll be doing some videos talking on that soon. Let's see. Roy says, like Ice Cube said, bow down to the team that's greater than you. And I feel like this is a perfect segue for that because speaking of bow down, I want to announce here, I want you guys to, we've launched the Ruining Baseball collection over at legendsofculture.com. Let me put this in the chat and see if it actually does the link here. Let me see if it does it here. Legendsofculture.com. All right. We have released the Ruining Baseball collection. I'm going to bring this up on the screen now. Okay. We've got a bunch of different Dodger themed logos and Ruining Baseball logos and the whole back-to-back theme here. different colors. We got the black, we got the blue, we got white shirts over there. So make sure you guys go check out legendsofculture.com. All right. You can see these are all designed by Drip Show, the graphic god. This is a partnership with Drip Show and Legends of Culture. So go ahead to legendsofculture.com. Take a look. Go ahead and take a look at all the merch we dropped today. It's like 6 or 7 new shirts up there tonight. Let's see. You got the Empire Jeff TV gear over there as well. You've got the Empire Jeff TV shirts. You got the mugs. You got the beer glasses. You got the tumblers. You got all kinds of stuff for Empire Jeff TV as well as some Legend of Culture stuff. But the drop of the day is the Drip Show Legends of Culture collaboration with the Ruining Baseball collection. And like I said, there's like 6 new joints up there. Free shipping on all orders. Take a look at it. And let me know if any of you guys order. Would greatly appreciate it. This is a limited drop, limited time only. This is not going to be up here very long. Like I said, this is just a drop we did today between Legends of Culture and Drip Show. Shout out to Drip Show. And for anyone who's ever been part of any sites or merch I've been on before, you already know the quality. You already know the quality of the shirts, and you already know the quality of the designs when it comes to Drip Show. So you got the best of both worlds here. This isn't going to be those cheap little $6 shirts that don't fit right and hang off your body weird. These fit great, feel great, look great. Legendsofculture.com. All right, appreciate y'all. Let me go to get back into the mix here. Where did I lead off here? And I'll tease out a couple more times. 1 second here, actually. I will drop that a couple more times throughout the show, as well as make sure to check out the link I dropped earlier to the Fanatics links as well for all the Dodger merch and championship merch and all that as well. Make sure to go check that. Give me 1 second. I gotta actually get in somewhere real quick. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me know if anyone's looking at the site, if anyone sees anything you want, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer. Like I said, Drip Show did phenomenal work there as always. I'm telling you that the materials are incredible. 1 second, guys. I apologize. I'm in a 2-factor hell here. You know, security can't be too secure, right? So, there we go. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Let me find out where the last chat I was here. And the reason I brought up the Ice Cube one is because there's an Ice Cube themed shirt on the site there as well, with the bow down theme and all that. So Judge equals Trout 2.0. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they're both incredible players, first ballot Hall of Famers, but yeah, the organizations have not done right by them. Like, that's why I said, look, when Ohtani knew what he was doing, he was like, look, I spent 6 years with the Angels, right? Couldn't sniff a playoff, couldn't get anywhere near it. And you know what? When I'm going in and I'm meeting with these teams, I'm going to tell them verbatim, like, you know, this is my offer. My offer, he was giving his offer to teams. $700 million. I'm going to defer money. I want all of it deferred. And believe it or not, that scared teams off. That scared some teams off because in their eyes, they look at it as carrying debt. They look at it as carrying debt, and it's not carrying debt, right? If you put it away, you put it in escrow. If you put it into a fund like the Dodgers did, you will make money off that, and you will pay other players off putting that money in a fund. And so he sat down, and that puts the pressure on a team like the Dodgers or whoever he would have signed with, because it's like, look, I agreed to $700 million, but you're paying me $680 million of it later. You're only giving me $20 million of it right now. So I don't want to hear that you're not spending. I don't want to hear that we can't compete. I don't want to hear about profits or any of that. That's the commitment. And the Dodgers knew immediately that, one, this guy is not playing around, that he's willing to do this. He's capable of doing it. He's got the money to do it. And now here we are. We have to go out here and compete every single year. So that's why I've always said we have to change our train of thought of how we think of how the Dodgers used to do things, how they used to run their business, how they used to make trades, how they used to sign people, how they used to treat their farm system. You have to rethink that. The second they got Ohtani, they got that megastar, they got that deferral money. So now every offseason, they've got to go pedal to the effing metal to deliver on what Ohtani asks of them. And, you know, good for him. Good for him, because he's flat out put them in a position where they can't punt in off season. So when I sit back here and it's sitting back here on November 29th and the Dodgers have not made like a massive move yet, I'm really not too worried about that. I'm really not too worried about it because I know they're going to. I know they're going to, because they pretty much have to. They pretty much have to, because they promised Ohtani this. They promised him. And because they promised him, essentially, by taking that deal, they have to deliver on it now by not just sitting on their hands during the offseason. They have to deliver on it. And as such, that's the pressure that he applies. It was a brilliant move, and the Dodgers will be competitive every year in which they have him because of that smart play. And it's plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right, let me try to get back to where I was. What's going on, Jenny? Happy holidays. Appreciate you. Yankees better worry about Toronto as well. Yeah, Toronto's going to be a problem. Now, I don't think Toronto's going to win a World Series. I'm not even sure they're going to get back to the World Series. But yeah, you're absolutely right. As far as the AL East goes, they absolutely have to worry about Toronto. This I 100% agree with. Daniel Barry, what's going on, sir? Happy Saturday. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. He says, go Dodgers. He says, 4-time Pete, go for the port Pete. That'd be great. Don't care says, Diaz about to be the next Freddie. Steal him away from the Mets. It's a very interesting situation going on with the Mets. They trade away Brandon Nimmo, which is, I couldn't believe they were able to pull that off. You have leaked reports of McNeil and Lindor having some beef there, which is kind of old recycled news. This is kind of known. A couple of years ago, they had a run-in. They had a run-in in June. This story kind of comes out now. Kind of sort of feels like Brandon Nimmo is kind of leaking some stuff now that he's no longer with the team. That's what I would, chalk it up to. And, there's even some talk about Soto and Lindor really not vibing, and whose locker room is it and whose team is it? And it's Juan Soto's team because of the bag he got, and because, his age. Lindor's 32 years old, and he's getting up there, and, Soto's 5 years younger than him, better than him. And though the power struggle in New York appears to be a thing. So we'll see how that shapes out. Is this something that Diaz wants to be part of? Is he going to be like, look, I've been here this long. We haven't won. I want to go play for a World Series. And even if, we bring everyone back, we're still not good enough. Maybe he's like, look, maybe the Mets are like, look, we'll give you 80 mil. Look at the Dodgers like, look, we'll give you, we'll get near that. There's going to be some deferrals. There'll be this, come play for a championship. And maybe, when you really think about it, and when you really hear the agents and the players talk, and you hear about some other teams talk, Tanner Scott got offered more money by the Chicago Cubs. He chose the Dodgers. There were teams that offer guys more money, and they chose the Dodgers. And maybe, just maybe, Diaz is that next guy in a long line of guys who chooses the Dodgers because he wants to play for a championship and he wants to go get one. And if that's where his mind is, if that's where he currently resides mentally, then the Dodgers absolutely have a shot at him. If he's like, I want to go to the highest bidder and that is it, then it's probably going to be the Mets. So we will wait and see which way he goes there. What's going on? One, can't wait for the season, and it's only been a month. I know, man. I know. Showtime LA, what's going on? Who is your preference for the outfield on the trade market, Buxton or Duran? They both come with different questions, right? I'd probably go Buxton, just because I did a video on him breaking that whole thing down of what he can do. I understand the injuries, I understand this, but him on the Dodgers would be something nasty, man. I would like to see that. I would choose Buxton over him. Just if you go back and watch that video, he would be my number one choice for an outfielder. The Yankees lose. Save the Big Papi while pouring a shot of tequila. That's funny. Let's see. Okay. Let me mind my business. Let me mind my business here. Let's see. Other teams had Muncy, Kike, Edmund, Justin Turner, a lot of relief pitchers, too many to mention, turned around their career while being in LA. Absolutely. Absolutely. Otani underpaid if Soto is making more. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he really is. He really is underpaid, man. He really is. Let's see. Okay, what's going on, man? Not Empire Evil, but Empire Jeff. Appreciate it, Dan. We are the evil empire, man. Pirates, Reds, Angels, etc. never reinvested in their teams. Mets, Yankees, Boston's, Orioles spent money on the wrong players. That's it right there. That's it. Jeff, no more Laker live news. Yeah. I'm getting back into basketball. To be honest with you, I don't feel right coming up here talking basketball when I haven't been consistently watching it. I don't want to come up here like a lot of these shows do, just come up and just talk the talk. I actually want to know what I'm talking about. So I got to catch up. I've been buried in baseball, man. I just been covering baseball left and right and just kind of tunnel vision on baseball. And I got to kind of dust off the cobwebs and dust off my NBA coverage here, but I'll be back soon. I just don't want to pull up on, just pull up the pull up. I want to be prepared. You know what I mean? Jeff, didn't you have someone that was going to tell you inside news about Edwin Diaz? So yes. And yes and no. So yes, I have someone that I was going to talk to about it, but with the holidays and everything going on, he really hasn't been able to get all the intel that we kind of both had hoped, right? So I don't have anything. We've talked, but he can't confirm. Like I've told him the same thing I just talked about now. Is it money related? Does he want to win and things like this? So I don't have what I tell you. I will tell you guys this. I'm going to be real careful how I go into this. This isn't even about baseball. This is about basketball. What I had to do to be able to meet with someone for like an hour and a half-ish, just to talk what happened with the Lakers and the Bus brothers, what I had to do to get that face-to-face is crazy, right? But it's the only way I could. And I did it. I paid the fee, not to the person. I just say I had to, without saying too much, I had to gain entry to something. And the only way to talk to him was that. He's like, I'll be here for this and here. If you can get here, we'll talk. And I got there. And I got my first Laker video is probably going to be about that. And it just would have to, because I actually literally paid to get into the place to have a sit down with someone on it. And it was a crazy story. And I'll tell that story during the video. But I literally had to but man, I'm just telling you something. That's what I'm saying. In this business, if you get someone that's of a certain level and they're willing to talk to you and they say, hey, if you can get here or if you can do this, and nothing crazy. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you can, you gotta put work in. You gotta get somewhere. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking like just like driving around the block or driving to Starbucks. Like there's some leaps you got to make, right? And I've made a lot of connections in both sports just by being someone that has built relationships, and those relationships lead to other relationships. And because my original relationships trust me so much, they'll say, yeah, you can talk to this dude. He's cool. You don't got to worry about it. And they actually talk like he's a good conversation. Like we have good conversations. This isn't just me bugging them for intel. We talk back and forth on stuff. Believe it or not, I see organizations and I'm able to kind of pick up on things before some of these guys who work in it for a living do. And I'm not talking about just on the floor stuff. I'm talking about, I feel what separates me more from a lot of people in content creation is kind of the behind the scenes organizational structural stuff. You guys know I was way out ahead of CBA and caps and aprons and brackets before anyone, right? Now 2-3 years later, now there's sites people do, they take the shortcut, right? I was doing this years ago, right? So I learned that from people within these games, people who actually work, on these salary caps and CBAs in real life, right? So I've been down that road years ago. Now people have cheat sheets, they pull up, they go to the internet. They didn't have all that, but I didn't have that. I had to go meet with people, sit down. I had to bring a notebook and paper. I had to put together my own spreadsheets. I had to do a bunch of stuff to learn this stuff. And when you do that and you don't cut corners and you don't cheat the game, you develop relationships. And when they see the work I put in, They're like, yeah, come down. So it has been this one was a little unique on what I had to do. But there is a great place to have fantastic conversations with people within the game at a particular place, and it's hidden in plain sight. And it has been a major part for a lot of my life when it came to meeting and talking to and gaining access to people within the sports. All right, so back to it. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's sometimes Soto Lindor. Yeah, that was a report that came out. Jeff paid for no. It's nothing shady. It's just, it was just like an inconvenience. It was like, man, I got to do this. All right. But I wanted the conversation. And I've had times where I've had to take like a 4-hour drive to go meet up with someone for a 30 to 45-minute conversation on something. Like I've done that. You know what I mean? I've done that. I've said, hey, I'll pick you up from here and take you here. Let me communicate. Let's talk during the time. I've done all kinds of stuff to gain access in this stuff. And it's paid off for me greatly. But it's sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes it's like because a lot of these guys are busy. It depends on who it is. If it's someone that just like has contacts, that's a lot easier. But if someone who's like in it, man, sometimes you gotta be ready when they're ready. They can call you at any time. Like, I got 45 minutes in 2 hours. Where you at? And if you can't get there, you can't get the intel. So it is a whole different ordeal, to say the least. Let's see. Hepatitis C later. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you. Do you think the Dodgers have their eye on 2029 free agency with Gunnar, since they don't really want big contracts right now, at least? Yeah. I mean, I've always kind of been the guy. You guys remember when I said a year ago, I said the only former Dodger I could see coming back is Corey Seager via trade. And now you're kind of hearing that come out now, right? But I still don't know if they're going to do it. But I've kind of always gone down the path that I believe the Dodgers shortstop of the future is going to be Bobby Witt Jr. Like, that's what I believe. And maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but Gunner's a guy to definitely keep your eye on. 2029, Mookie will be 35 years old or a little older than that, actually, 36. He'll be on coming up on the final couple years of his deal. And so yeah, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr. would be the two that I would be looking at. I just have it in my mind that Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be the shortstop of the future for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's just what I believe. But I'm a nobody. I'm just a guy here drinking some spiked coffee and talking sports on YouTube, right? But that's what I feel. Once again, y'all, I want to tease this one more time for those who didn't see it earlier. If you have not seen, we did a drop today on legendsofculture.com. Legendsofculture.com is where you can find our latest collaboration with Drip Show. We have the Ruining Baseball collection. A variety of different shirts here celebrating the 2024-2025 back-to-back World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Multiple colors, multiple themes, multiple designs, all kinds of flavors here for you, man. Visit legendsofculture.com. Shipping is free. Orders go out quickly. And you will be very, very happy with the quality of the shirt, the quality of the design. It's a good fit. It's a good feel. It's a good vibe. legendsofculture.com. All right, let's see. Why did my chat section just decide to obliterate itself? Okay, there we go. Whoa. I told you I'm testing some new stuff tonight, so it's been a little goofy. Bobby Witt Jr. has his first opt-out in 2031. He would be 31 years old if he chooses to opt out right there. Well, I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's going to be via free agency, is what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be via free agency. I don't think so. I think the Dodgers, if it is what Bobby Witt Jr., it's going to be via trade. That's what I think. Ronald Acuna Jr. is a free agent in 3 years, I believe. Man. Dude got to stay healthy, though. Start the party. Los Angeles T is fire. All of them are fire. All of them are fire. Man, those designs are crazy, man. He did his thing there for sure. Did his absolute thing for sure. It's like I said, great merch, great quality. And like one of ones. You're not gonna see too many of these elsewhere. You're not gonna find too many of these elsewhere. You're just not gonna start the party, Los Angeles. Absolutely. But let me know who you guys think. What signings or trades you think the Dodgers are actually going to make this offseason? I thought only the Dodgers can defer money. Blue Jays ruining baseball, said hepatitis. Yeah. It's you know what? I've got I've got it. My next video is kind of tied into something with that, and I got so many video ideas. I got so many topics. I got all written down, all formatted. I got graphics done. I just haven't had the time to pull up for an hour and a half. I just haven't had the time. So I've been hitting with those little 2 to 3 minute shorts or reels, and make sure y'all go follow me on all my socials, man. EmpireJeffTV everywhere. EmpireJeffTV everywhere. We're talking about YouTube. We're talking about IG, TikTok, Twitter, X, Twitch, Kick, everywhere. EmpireJeffTV. Follow me on all those different sites. There's different communities on each one of them. So good places to be, man. So make sure to follow me though. The C Steel is a horrendous one. But yeah, so the C Steel I've gone back and forth with, man. And while I wouldn't have given him $210 million, but he's durable. He has swing and miss stuff. He gets strikeouts. You got a team who makes all that contact and gets extra at bats because of that. And now you got a guy who can take at bats away from the other team. So I get it. I get the fit for the team. And you're going to have to overpay to get people to go to Canada. So for me, I understand why they had to do the overpay, and I understand why no other team met that. You're going to have to overpay to get them to go play in the other CA up north, right? It just is what it is. He's a good pitcher, right? He's a playoff pitcher. Like you have him on your team. He's not a number one to me. He's a 2 or 3, but he's a good pitcher. He's not worth 210 to me, but if you're going to pay 210 to get him to go to, Toronto, you got to do what you got to do. They got money. They got the money. Rogers got the money. So they're going to have to overpay to get him to go. And they did. And they got him. So time will tell how that looks. Time will tell. Realistic, I think Brendan Donovan is a trade. Devin Williams is a free agent. I think those are both realistic moves for sure. What's going on, Young? Dodgers may sign a closer via free agency and an outfielder via trade. Dodgers have to dump some of surplus prospects. Yeah, I agree with you. So far, offseason free agent signings are overpaid. It might be what the market is. Might be what the market bears. We'll see. Even with deferments, you have to think the impacts a Bo reunion or Tucker pursuit, right? Toronto isn't cheap, but I don't know. They would spend that much. I don't think they're going to do both. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they sign both. And another video I did is why I said if the Dodgers end up with Bo, I think it's going to be because Toronto chose someone else. Like they already got Cease. Now, if they go after a Tucker or a Bellinger, do they let Bo walk, right? Is it another Freddie Freeman situation where he doesn't go back to the team he wanted to originally? Who's his second choice? The Dodgers, boom. So I think that's the only way it happens is if Toronto kind of fumbles it a little bit. Same thing with Diaz with the Mets. I think the only way the Dodgers end up with either Diaz or Bichette is if the Mets or Toronto kind of slip up a little bit. Dodgers buying that new Japanese hitter. What's going on, sports baby? No, they're not. They're not going to get him. They're not going to get him. At least I don't think so. Craig says Dodgers should go after Bo B. He's young and he's World Series tested. Yeah. I like him, but I don't know. Like if you got him at second base, you're going to put Edman in center field all year. I just don't know. Well, they have to have a plan. Part of me is thinking that the Dodgers are going to pull back on some of their everyday players next year. They did it with the starters last year. Maybe Mookie plays a little less. Freddie plays a little less. Maybe some of these guys play a little less and they move guys around. Maybe Bo plays second and shortstop. Maybe Mookie plays some at second, or maybe goes to the outfield some next year. Maybe take some games off. Guys are going to be hurt at times. Freddie's getting older. Shohei's going to need a little bit more rest this year, man. He kind of burned out a little towards the end of the year. So I think the Dodgers may be looking at this like, yo, we have to we may have to get some guys some more time off this year and get them. I think that slump hit them because you're already coming off a back-to-back. The guys are worn down. And now on top of that, like you have you're gonna be going for a three-peat here. So it's it makes it difficult, right? I think they're gonna have to. I think the Dodgers are gonna have to be very creative how they use their guys next year, and Dave Roberts is gonna have to be very creative on how he gives guys rest and stretches it out and gets guys to where they can go the whole season and not be run out of gas by the end. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. But I think the Dodgers will be a little bit more creative in how they manage their innings for both pitchers and position players. Let's see. Young says Jay still will sign Bo. I think there's a good chance they still re-sign him. Well, since they are adamant on Teoscar in right field because of statistics, you can have Pages in center field, put Edman in left. So there, again, you're right. Every stat that you see shows that Teoscar is better in right than left. I think where it went wrong for Teoscar this year in right field is that hamstring. I think there was a groin issue too. He couldn't run very well in the outfield, and that's going to happen in left field too. But statistically, Teoscar Hernandez is worse in left field than in right. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. And I think his lower extremity injuries last year made him be worse in right field than he had been in the past. And even as bad as he was in right field last year, he was worse than left field in 2024. It just didn't feel like that because his offense was such on fire that people didn't think about it too much. He had a much better offensive year in 2024. Again, he was healthier. And in 2025, he had injuries that affected him offensively and defensively. And I think if he's healthy, people will see he's better than in right than in left. But yeah, he's going to be in right field. Appreciate that, Xbox. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's have a like party. Yeah, drop a like on the video if you haven't done so already. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I would appreciate it. I agree that hamstring made him go from below average to horrid. We can live below average defense plus good slug. Yeah, that's what it was. That's really all it really was. Is he didn't have the pop, right? And if you don't have the pop, now remember how great him and Edman started the season, and then they both got injured. They started the season in like MVP form. It was incredible to see both of them the way they came out of the season. Edman had like 8 or 9 home runs early, right? And then Tail was killing it. And then they both got hurt at like the same time. I think they both went on the IL at the same time. And they never really found their way back the rest of the year. They had moments, but they never really found that lightning in a bottle they started the season with. And I really feel that impacted them. And Edman was impacted defensively too. And Edman had his surgery. I think Teo will have time to heal. I believe we'll see more of 2024 Teo than 2025 Teo in 2026. That's just what I believe. What's going on, Sammy? Appreciate you, man. What's up? Appreciate you, man. Do you have any doubts of Kike or Rojas coming back? No, they'll both be back. And it may be spaced out. It may not be right away. Kike is going to miss a couple of months because of surgery. And, Rojas is going to be that vet. I think Rojas will be with the Dodgers one way or another for a while as a player, and then probably something in the front office or coaching. But I would expect Rojas to come back next year. It'll be his final year as a player. I think he'll be back. And then I could see Max Muncy kind of taking on the Miguel Rojas role when Miggy is gone, being the vet off the bench, less money, less plate appearances, less innings, still impactful, and probably another maybe 2-3 years in that role, but not an everyday starting third baseman. Oh my God, there's like a whole party going on outside my window right now. A whole like you can't hear it because my mixer's got that noise canceling. At least I don't think you guys can hear it, but good Lord, it is a whole siesta out here, man. I'm gonna have to go may have to end this out. They sound like they're having too good a time outside my window here. Let's see. Pages, Teo, and Edman is a worrisome outfield. Is there a rookie, or do we really go out and bring in an upgrade? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Julie. I don't know if it's Julie or July. Yeah, I don't love that outfield of Pages, Teo, and Edman. I don't love that. And which is why if you get Bichette, that's kind of what you're looking at. Unless for some reason they say, okay, we're going to put Mookie back in the outfield and put Edman at shortstop, which I don't love either. Bo Bichette would be a luxury. I don't think he's a need. And it kind of causes some pieces that don't fit well. If you put him at second, so I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope Evan Phillips comes back too. I believe he will. I think it's a situation like with Kike. I think that as he gets healthier and gets closer to returning, I think that they will bring him back. Maybe they sign him on a minor league deal. Maybe they sign him once rosters expand around spring training. But I do think he'll come back. There's no way the Dodgers will trade Glass now. I don't think they will. Dodgers have to get players that can get hits like Bo in the World Series. Edmund Teo, Muncy Pa has struggled. Shohei, too many solo home runs. We need to get on base for Shohei. Yep. Yes, that Glasnow rumor was just a hypothetical from a random reporter. It's that same in the offseason. Yeah, I don't think that trade is realistic. What's Kim role with the Dodgers? I think you'll see him play more next year than this year, but he's not going to be a starter. They're going to bring him along, man. They're going to bring him along. You'll see a combination of him at second, and I think they may try to get him more work as an outfielder. They're going to try to work rushing in at first base or outfield as well. So they're going to try to find spots for these guys to play and get reps and get hits because they still think that Rushing could be a good player, and they also if they probably would like to see if there's a like a stud out there they want to go get, and they would probably like for him to be playing well enough to where they can bring his value up. So I can see some of these guys playing to get their value up as well. So we'll see how that all goes. But Kim's role, I think, will be more than last year, but I think he's a whole other season away from being like considered an everyday guy. I don't think he's that guy yet. Rushing will be backup catcher for the Dodgers on opening day. I believe so. I think he'll be the backup catcher, and I also think that he will play some first base and corner outfield for the Dodgers next year. They will, they worked on him with that in the minor leagues a little bit. I'm very interested to see. This is what I'm intrigued with. What did I do here? Okay. I'm intrigued to see if and when the Dodgers start trying Will Smith out at other positions. Does he play some first? Does he play some third? He's going to be the everyday catcher, but to get him off from behind the plate and still get some at-bats when you got Shohei as the DH, to give his knees a break behind the plate, will he play some third or first? That's going to be a very interesting thing to keep an eye on, because if he can, and if he does, and Rushing gets more than once or twice a week as a result of that, and Will Smith stays a little fresher and doesn't hit that crazy slump he always does because of all the innings behind the plate, then that could change the Dodgers dynamic, as well. I think Kim will be in a trade for an everyday outfielder as a toss-in. They probably like Freeland more as the utility guy of the future. I think they really like him. And I think if their goal is to still potentially be able to get guys out of the league where they got Kim, out of the Korean League, I don't think they dump him after the first year. I think that would send kind of a bad message if you're trying to have roots over there. So the Dodgers do everything with a long-term plan in mind. So I don't think that they would have brought Kim in to trade him after a year, especially if they still got guys over there that they like. They might have to. I know it's a weird scenario to put it that way, but I think that there's a case where that's real. This stream has flown by. We've already been out here over an hour now. Man. Let's see. No good everyday outfielder on the market other than Tucker. Everyday outfielder, good. On the market, if you're talking free agent market, then maybe I'm kind of with you there. But if you're talking trade market, there's more than a few. There's more than a few. Free agent market, there's no one that I would give 5 to 7 years to. Even Tucker, I wouldn't do that. So to me, there is no guy on the outfield market that I would pay top dollar for. I would consider trading for a Quan. I would consider trading for a Buxton, a Duran. I would consider those guys. But those, I'm not giving 7 to 10 years to Tucker, though. Kim hitting 300. Why would you trade him? They should play him. So Kim, those Kim numbers are misleading. He's only facing certain type of pitchers. He's not giving heavy volume. Those aren't really statistically valid numbers, right? Like I get people's obsession with Kim and looking at the numbers, but I don't think they're really watching him play. You know what I mean? And he is a prospect. He's a solid prospect. But if you look at Kim's batting average and you think that tells the story of him as a player, then you're playing with fire there. You're playing with fire there. A batter's average in 2025 isn't what a batting average was before. You need other things in there. A guy can hit 310 and be benched, right? And a guy hitting 230 could get more innings than him because he's got more slug. His OPS is better. His WAR is better. His wins above replay. All these things matter, right? Kim, I think, has a decent future in the league, but people just looking at batting average, that's not what baseball is anymore. It's just not. Like I said, you'll see guys who bat 230 getting more playing time than a guy who hits 300, because a guy who hits a couple of singles versus a guy who hits a bunch of bombs and some doubles and's got gap power and that guy's way more beneficial than a guy that bats 300. Kim average hit tool below average power, great speed, kind of like Gavin Lux, to be honest. Yeah, that's exactly my point. Like people get fooled when they look at a batting average. A batting average is, your job is to get a hit or get on base. Yes, but that's why someone like a Luis Ariz is not going to get super paid, because he doesn't have any power. He can't play any defense. He gets on, it doesn't get driven in. He doesn't have a ton of speed. The guy can hit singles left and right. He can get you some doubles. He could put the ball in play. He can make a pitcher work. But oh man, it is crazy. But that's not how the game is played anymore. It's just not. You want to win, you got to slug. You got to slug. Point blank period. That was my narrative all of the postseason. I was getting debates with people all the time. Play small ball, bunt. Guys, this isn't your grandfather's baseball league anymore. This is it. It's power. It is power, and it is slugging. The Dodgers won the World Series because they slugged. They came back and won the World Series because they slugged, right? You don't slug, you don't get the dub. You don't. You can have a bunch of singles and it won't matter. That guy who gets that 1 3-run home run, a couple of 2-run shots, they beat you. So singles are great, but if you're sitting back hoping for singles all game, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You got to slug. You got to slug. Let's see. Roberts hadn't put him in. He hasn't given him to be. Well, the organization told him not to. Like, he's not ready. He's a guy you brought over from another country who's not ready. It's untrained eyes looking at a batting average or looking at someone like a Kim and thinking that, oh, you got to give him innings. Innings, it was going to hurt him more than help him, and it was going to hurt the team more than help the team. The Dodgers know that's why they didn't play him. We signed Kim, then traded Lux. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. They signed Kim. They basically traded Lux to sign Kim. So yeah, I think they're in on him. Rise doesn't even have any baseball IQ. He makes blunders all the time. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. For those who just look at batting average, they would be all over someone like a Luis Ariz. But you're right. That's not what we look at anymore. A batting average might be like not even the 4th or 5th most important stat on a player anymore. It just isn't. It's going to be a big for Kim's career outlook if he can figure out center field. His defense becoming elite at multiple positions is going to keep him in the league. Yes, and that's my point. If he can figure out the outfield, then oh man, that's my point. Rise was the only hitter that didn't give me a heart attack in 2024. Yeah, because he was never going to hit it out. He was never going to hit it out of the park. He was never going to. He was going to just get foul, single, foul, single, foul, double, foul, single. But again, I'm very curious to see what type of money he gets. I don't think he gets more than like 70 mil, right? Which is a lot of money. But I'm talking like, a guy who led the league in hitting for 3 straight years, not getting paid is crazy because it doesn't matter anymore. Batting average and singles really just don't matter as much as they did before. We traded Lux for Paul Molitor. That's funny. Lux is a guy that the Dodgers liked, man. They had a lot of hopes for. Just didn't really pan out, and they really liked Kim. They went and basically moved him. I know. They went and basically moved him to free up a spot to sign Kim. And the Dodgers don't do that for just a year of Kim. Like at least I don't believe so. I don't believe they make a move like that unless they really believe in this kid Kim. And I think they do. I think they do. Now it's just a matter of what he becomes. And I think hepatitis C later is right. Can he play the outfield? I think that makes a world of difference. And extending his career and extending his Dodger career, if he can play the outfield, would be huge. It would be very huge. So, all All right, y'all. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Drop a like on the way out if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Make sure to go check out the drop we did with Drip Show on legendsofculture.com. The Ruining Baseball collection is now live at legendsofculture.com. Go get yours today. Free shipping on all items. And shout out to Drip Show. You see the logo at the top of the screen as well. And appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you continue to have a great weekend. Your NFL Sunday tomorrow. I'll probably be back up here tomorrow, man. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go walk Lucky. I'm going to go see what's up with this party next door, man. It's popping over there. So y'all stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank y'all for tuning in. Chris, I appreciate you. And shout out to Drip Show. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, let's go Dodgers. Let's go Lakers. Love y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.